Welcome to the Grappling Grappling Rewind Podcast.
Welcome to this week on the Grappling Rewind Podcast. On this week's show, we're going to recap the 2019 IBJJF Pan American Championships. We're going to preview Fight to Win 106 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We're going to preview the King of Mats 5. We're going to preview the Third Coast Grappling Qualifier. We're also going to preview the Tap Out Cancer Black Belt Showcase and talk a little about the ADCC Brazilian Trials coming up next week. As always, I'm your host, Maine, joined with my co-host,
Emil, who's going to correct you and say that's King of the Mat 5. You said King of Mats,
King
man.
of the Mats. King of the Mat. Singular.
Okay, you just said three different things now.
Yeah, Emil, if you've listened to the show before, you know I do that a lot.
Yeah, well, we're excited. Either way.
We've just watched Pans. It is about 7 o'clock on Monday night, March 25th, 2019, and I have just watched more Pans. Dude, it's every time we cover a major IBJJF event, my mind turns to mush the next 3 days.
18 black belt adult finals matches.
And we're
just adult black belt finals matches. There's over 300 overall black belt matches, 1,600 overall matches. Yeah, it's more fucking jiu-jitsu than you can shake a stick at.
We're going to cover all of the black belt adult finals matches because anything more than that, this show becomes about 6.5 hours long.
Oh, we're going over that. I got some opinions about some semifinals matches, man.
You got some things to talk about?
I need the world to hear them.
All right, so before we get into that, let's get into a little bit of news for the week. There is none, because it is an IBJJF major event, and then pretty much whenever that happens, there's no news.
It's like there's no promotions, no one gets into fucking brawls.
It's great. We just cover one event,
no
but then
steroids.
you realize that there are 8 mats running simultaneously for 3 or 4 days, and then if you go back and look at the videos of the last day, it's just it's about 10 hours and 50 minutes of match footage per mat for 8 mats.
Yeah.
So we're tired, and this show comes out in about 5 hours. So let's get into it. So let's get right into it. Let's get into the recap of the 2019 IBJJF Pans. Where do you want to start?
So I want to start with just saying this is one of the 4 majors, right? So
yeah,
it's worth mentioning. We got the overall IBJJF, ultimate tournaments you have.
You made this sound way more epic, the ultimate tournament. So you have 4 major events. If you win them all,
this is a big fucking deal, man.
Yeah, it is.
If you look at the semifinals at any of these adult, black belt divisions,
these could be your world finals.
Exactly. They could be world finals. We're seeing previews. People are amping up for worlds, which is around the corner.
Yep.
So it's a very big deal. The 4 tournaments obviously are Euros, Brasileiros, Pans, and then worlds themselves. So this is a big lead up. And
if you're going to win, you got to win Pans to win a Grand Slam this year. So guys that have already won the Euros that also win Pans have 2 more, and then they Grand Slam it. So that's the Grand Slam of Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, and for the men, there's Levi Jones Leary, who is now potentially Grand Slamming. And
way to give spoilers away for the rest of the event.
I'm just saying.
If you
and
listen
then
to the
Ffion
show.
Davies as well.
Yep, Ffion Davies also.
We got 2 potential Grand Slammers. That's a big fucking deal.
There may be more, but that's all I looked up.
Yeah, well.
So where do you want to start with this one?
Let's start with Kennedy Marcial. This is Cabrina's son. I think fucking potentially broke his arm. I think definitely broke his arm.
I think Mateus Gabriel snapped his shit.
Holy shit, man.
And,
that was fucking brutal.
We saw the video, and then the weird thing I thought was he lets his arm get broken, and then he escaped. So it's okay, so he got it broken, but he's escaped, and he's gonna do the gangster thing, the Jacare thing, and keep fighting, and then he pulls back, and then stops the match, and then it's over. And it's wait. You let your arm get broken, and then you say, by the way, way more gangster than I am. Let me not act like I'm some badass that would let that happen. But then, he stopped the match, and I was like, wait,
Says the guy with a broken back.
It's a little broken. But I can almost put my shoes on now. So, I'm having a better time recently. I still haven't trained in, 2 months because I can't touch my feet.
Maine, by the way, just showed me an inversion table that he just bought. So he's hanging upside down a la Batman.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Rachel, for putting that together for me because I'm not good with IKEA shit. And it wasn't an IKEA thing, but it was basically the same thing. I looked at it, I took it out of the box and went, I'll wait till Rachel gets home, and then she'll put this together for me.
So, getting back to Kennedy Marcial.
Gets his arm broken, stops the match, and then is it a loss via injury or loss via submission or what?
I'm sure it's loss via submission. That. What do you do?
I don't know.
You end the match after you got your arm broken, And like, the medics had to come in. Like,
But
hopefully
he didn't tap. He didn't have to tap.
Hopefully he is back soon. Like I don't know. Like
I hope he's
elbow
not out
dislocations or like.
I hope he's not out for Worlds. Like that would suck.
Yeah.
Because he's a top guy, and I hate watching top guys get injured because then we don't get to see them fight and we don't get to see them compete. And like, well, we do this show for a pretty specific reason because we like high-level guys competing, and so when they get injured, like, it sucks to see because, like, we're not going to see Gordon. We're not going to see Kennedy because, like, guys get injured during matches, and it just sucks.
Worlds is what, 2 or 3 months away? So
Math Man, I think it's in May?
Yeah, it's in May. So, yeah, that's a tough turnaround because you got to rehab and then you got to train and get into condition for Worlds. So, I don't think that's in the cards.
Look, I hope it's just a minor injury.
So,
and he continues on.
The match is really quick, by the way, and like it's 2 double guard pulls, and they did the 20-second rule stand up, and on the second guard pull, Mateus just like they're both in seated guard, and Mateus just shoots a triangle and grabs the arm and starts cranking the arm bar. So it's a crazy finish. I'm sure you've seen it all over.
If you haven't, go find that.
Yeah,
shit,
it's on Instagram.
It was crazy.
It's nuts.
So where do you want to start? Want to start with the finals, or you want to go through the semifinals? I mean, I feel like if we go through the semifinals, we'll be
here forever.
Yeah,
we'll do finals. We will stop and maybe talk about a couple. Actually, maybe what I'll do here is talk about a semifinals match that I think was fucking weird. And you know exactly what
I know
I'm
exactly what you're talking about. For a second, I just stared at Emil with a blank stare, like, wait, what match are you talking about?
I'm talking about Leandro Lo versus Adam Wardzinski'a.
I thought that was a little weird.
It was a little fucking weird, man. Like,
Dude, Wardzinski'a, I'm a huge Wardzinski'a fan. He is one of the few top level guys that I can watch compete and know exactly what he's doing because he plays butterfly, I play butterfly, and I'm like, oh shit, so I understand his game really well. I love watching him compete. He just did an interview with BJJ Fanatics on part of their podcast that I highly recommend you go listen to. Really interesting, gives a cool European perspective for jiu-jitsu. Talks about BJJ in Poland, talks about his lineage, talks about his ramp up for Worlds and everything else. Really cool guy. Even more of a fan now. So back to this match.
Well, yeah, I want to give Wardzinski'a some credit here because he hits 2 fucking amazing the exact same sweep twice in really critical matches here. We'll talk a little bit more about it, but this is a fucking weird match, and it starts with Leandro Lo looking like Leandro Lo. And getting to the fucking back like nothing was preventing it. And he's on there, and he's on there, and he's on there. And now, like, I'm like, what the like, am I missing something?
You're waiting for the points.
I'm waiting for the points.
Looks
and
like
I'm
his
like,
hooks are in. Looks like he has the over-under, the seatbelt.
He's got the seatbelt grip.
We're waiting.
I'm like, nothing. And, like, no one's, like, it was so fucking weird. He was on there for like easily 8 seconds. There was like no question at all. And it was to the point where I thought I was going crazy, and there was yet another minutia IBJJF rule that I didn't know. So I was texting Josh to be like, yo, what the fuck?
Josh Weinstock, resident black belt on the show, Grappling Rewind.
Yeah, exactly. Resident black belt and resident IBJJF rules
yeah,
guru.
Like, I know a lot of other rules. Josh, he is the dude that I go to for like IBJJF rules or UAEJJF rules. Like, hey, what happened here? He goes, this happened. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I can talk about it now.
So I was like, yeah, I'm not missing something, right? He has his hooks in and all this shit. He was like, oh yeah, no, that was taking the back. They did not award 4 points. I don't know why. I have no fucking clue. And what happens is Wardzinski'a reverses and initiates a scramble, and Leandro Lo is able to get back up and begin passing, and then he gets swept. And this is one of the 2 sweeps that Wardzinski'a hits that's incredible. It's like this overhead. Some people actually call it a sumigaeshi. It's just a butterfly sweep, but like an overhead butterfly.
Overhead butterfly sweep.
And
Wardzinski'a's really fucking good at the sweep.
He's so really, good. Really he sweeps the shit out of Leandro Lo, like not even a question. And then Leandro just fucking like goes full Herbert, like inexplicably just ceases to defend anything.
He kind of like just like stops almost.
He
like,
utterly
like,
stops.
Almost like I almost thought he was injured or something.
Yeah, and he, Wardzinski'a's able to progress up and take the back himself and begin attacking a choke. And Leandro Lo's hands are not defending. Like, you can go back and watch this, and they're not defending, and the
Well, they're kinda,
conspiracy
like,
theorist
almost
in
in
me
the-
is saying, this is a fucking work. I don't know what the fuck was going on. That was mad weird.
It wasn't a work.
I know.
But looking at the match, like, I can't explain what happened. Like, it just looked weird. Like, Wardzinski's has the choke. It looks almost kind of like a zipper choke or choke from the back, collar choke from the back.
Standard collar
and
choke.
You see Lo not attacking. Kind of is attacking, or is trying to push on Wardzinski's foot. It's kind of looped over bow and arrow style. But he's not really, like, pushing against it. He's not really trying to, like, rotate his shoulders. He's not really, doesn't
And
really have his front hand on the lapel.
He has one hand that's just floating in the air. Like, it's not doing anything.
I think he maybe been trying to attack push off the foot there. It looked weird. It was a really interesting finish. It was, again, it was super strange. Lo is one of the most winningest Pans champions. I think 9 or 8 Pans champions, I think. Like, he's one of the most winningest Pans champions that's existed at the black belt level.
Yeah.
It was a strange match to take him out of his division.
Yeah, it was very peculiar.
But he's still in the finals versus Lucas Barbosa, Hulk.
For absolute.
For the absolute. So although he does lose that, he still has a finals match. This was a quarterfinals match in his division.
Right.
So that was weird. And
Yeah.
Conspiracy Emil came out and texted all of us and was like, "What happened here?" I was like, "That was kind of weird." I'll give it to you. It was a little weird.
It was just peculiar. It's a weird match. It's a really amazing performance by Wardzinski.
Oh yeah.
Who,
I think he's finally turned that corner, and he's gonna start really contending with some of the elite guys.
I mean, he was
Because he's struggled historically the past couple of years. He's looked really, really good. Don't get me wrong. He's looked elite, but he's always kind of run into some problems with the upper echelon of guys. I think he's starting to put it together finally, and I think he's going to start giving more of these guys problems and potentially be in more contention for major events than he already has been. So I'm really excited. I like him because he's one of the few guys, pretty much the only guy at that top level that plays that butterfly, like, shin-to-shin guard like that. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. So let's get on to the finals results for the men's.
Where do you want to start? Want to start at the lower weight class? Or want to start at the absolutes?
Let's start absolutes.
All right. So finals for the absolute, we have Lucas Hulk Barbosa defeating Leandro Lo via a split refs decision.
Yeah, so this was close. Leandro was obviously not completely jobbing this entire tournament. He did amazing. This is, 2 of the highest level jiu-jitsu players in the entire game.
I'll watch these guys fight forever.
Yeah.
I love watching these guys fight because, dude, Hulk is such an active, like, aggressive player. And Lo is, like, he's pretty aggressive, but he's not, like, Barbosa aggressive.
Well, Barbosa keeps the heat on, like, I think way more consistently. Leandro will bide his time, and then fucking erupt. Like, he does these, like, spurts of just explosive movement.
I think that's the best way to put that. And, dude, it's paid dividends for him. But this is a really, really close match between both these guys. Barbosa just edges out a decision. Do you have any kind of particular moments in the match you want to touch on?
Not really. I mean, like, I was just surprised, like, Hulk, because, like, Leandro's incredible. Like, Hulk was able to get on top and really, like, assert control for a long time.
Yeah.
That was impressive to me. Like, it's weird to see someone like Leandro get squashed, right? Like,
yeah, I think it was Keenan talking about it on an interview, basically just how fucking strong. I mean, he's called Hulk for a reason. Lucas Barbosa, you don't get the name Hulk being not a strong guy, but he's just stupid strong in, like, a strange kind of way. And I think we're really starting to see him use that a lot more. I mean, we've seen him use it through belts and, like, at black belt, but I think we're starting to see him, like, figure out where and how to use it at, like, an elite level. Yeah. And we're starting to see him put guys into places that, like, and control them with, like, strength in places we're not used to seeing those guys get controlled. So this is a cool match to kind of showcase that, and eventually is what leads to him getting the split refs decision. Again, super close.
And Hulk was rocking some great neon green hair. Like,
dude, neon, like green screen green.
Yeah.
Like, I thought you can chrome key him out and put any hair you want there. I think, dude, he does it now, and Keenan was doing it, and I don't know.
But at least, like, there's some consistency with Hulk, right? Like, it was Hulk green, so, I'll give him that.
I literally didn't put that together until just now.
Yeah. Well, now you know. Anyway, ultra heavyweight, it's a closeout between Ricardo Evangelista and Max Jimenez.
We love seeing closeout at the highest level. I mean, nothing gets me going like 3 closeouts in a men's division for a final at a major event. You know what I'm saying, Emil?
Oh yeah, it's riveting.
This is when I like UAJJF, where it's like you go fight each other, and you can't pretend you actually got to fight. Like again, a lot of guys go back and forth with this. I think even some of the guys on our team think that the closeouts are fine. I just am always not a big fan of it. I do go back and forth now and again, but I'm always, especially at major events, it always kind of just this weird little like asterisk and caveat about the victory. It's like, oh, he's a champion. Yeah, but he closed out with his teammate. So it was like, was he really the best guy at that weight class for that division? And like,
I also understand not getting injured and all that.
And I totally that's why we go back and forth. Like I totally understand it, but it's always just like I do go back and forth on it, and for major events, it always just is kind of disappointing that, especially like this event, you had in the men's division, you had 3 different closeouts.
Yeah,
you have a third of your matches ending in closeout with teammates. You're just like, ugh.
Okay, I really want to talk about the next match. It's the super heavyweight fight. Felipe Andro defeating Muhammad Ali 18-2.
You heard that correctly.
18-2.
The current gi world champion Muhammad Ali. Jesus.
It's not exactly what you think, because Muhammad Ali had a cut on his head and that was bleeding profusely.
So this is where I watched the replays. So the replay videos are not the videos that were on Flow Zone with the commentary. They are the mat side footage. And the mat side footage looks like a fucking handy cam.
Yeah.
And I could not tell. Like, I assumed that's what he had. I assumed he had a cut in his head that kept opening up. And the medics had to come on, was it 2 or 3 different times?
2 times. The commentators were talking about how, I think a second time you get like a penalty, I think. And then, or like someone, it's weird. Like you get a penalty or an ad, or your opponent gets an ad. And then if it's a third time, I think they just DQ you. So on the second
Which
time,
honestly, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's a bad rule. But this, I do not understand the injury rules for IBJJF at all. So I'm happy the commentary explained it.
What they did was, they obviously don't want the DQ to happen, especially in a fucking finals. So
finals at a major. This isn't open. This is a major.
So the medic comes out with bandage and like fucking mummies.
You ever seen the picture of Orlando Sanchez at ADCC when his head is all bandaged up? Kind of like that, but even more.
Or like the commentators were actually talking about this, and before they even finished their sentence, I thought exactly the same thing, which was like, oh, this reminds me of Travis Stevens. Like Travis Stevens has a bunch of images where he's just like taped the fuck up. It looks super badass.
Or Satoshi Ishii.
Yeah.
Like all the judo, for some reason, all the judo guys were just like
smashing heads.
They just get it and they just rap and rap and rap. That's exactly what it looks like. And so that makes more sense.
Muhammad Ali has a lot of bandage, and they have bandage going across the forehead, and then they also have bandage going up over the head and then down around the jaw, and it looked uncomfortable.
So it doesn't slide off, basically. And honestly, if you're going to bandage a head like this in a combat scenario, that sounds so weird, at a event like this, where you're going to get pulled on the head, this is the kind of how you want to do it. You've got to anchor it to something, because if the guys are sweaty, you put the bandage on, it's going to slide off the top, and unless you literally use like 3 rolls of tape and like go around the ears and stuff, this is the best way to do it.
So Muhammad Ali is like, they were actually talking about like, it looks like his mouth might be like kind of like closed, like force closed a little bit by this, and like it looks a little uncomfortable for sure. And I will say, before this taping, it's 2.5 minutes of some of the best like super heavyweight scrambling I've ever fucking seen.
It's exciting.
It was like reversals,
and the match is
takedowns,
really, really close at the beginning.
At the beginning, and it's like, it is insane the pace that they're pushing. There are switches, like wrestling switches, like it's fucking nuts. It's an amazing 2.5 minutes, and then they start taping him up, and you can see it's just like all like from that point on. I don't know if it was mental or just physical. Also, he was in a lot of discomfort, but Muhammad Ali gets just squashed. And I don't remember him getting squashed in half guard. Muhammad Ali is like, he's always dictating the pace.
Yeah.
And always, he's always a threat, and he was just getting worked.
Felipe Andrews kind of like pinned him down, and then repeatedly, like 2 separate times, goes from the half guard to the quarter guard to the mount.
Right.
And then like that's how he scores his points.
And then exactly. Like and then Muhammad reguards, and then the same thing happens, and so the points rack up.
Yeah, really, again, really impressive performance from Felipe Andrew.
Yep.
Like amazingly impressive, because that's Muhammad Ali is the current 2018 IBJJF black belt world champion at the weight class in the gi. So, props to Felipe Andrew is just it was just a little weird with the injuries. Like it always, whenever guys get injured and have to get taped during a match, it always
fucks with it.
It always does, which is weird. Like you figure that like not people will be used to that, but like you always see it change the pacing of the match. And usually the guy getting taped, like it's rare that those guys win.
Yeah.
But when you do see it, it's super impressive and it's super like rewarding. But that did not happen here. So anything else on that match?
Nah, let's keep going.
Moving on to the heavyweights, we had Kaynan Duarte defeating Adam Wardzinski'a 2-2, won 1 advantage.
This was an awesome match. It was a great sort of, I think, vindication for Wardzinski'a, even though he didn't come out on top. Because
showed he could compete.
It showed he could compete. It showed he could bring and make it a very close match. And this was in contrast to the UAE JJF match between these two just a week ago. And
was it that recently?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Dude, it all blends.
I think it
all blends together.
At most 2 weeks ago, I think it was last week we covered it, and like, it good on him. He hits Kaynan with the same sweep that he sweeps Lo with, and he ties it up. But Kaynan was able to just eke out the advantage win on this. Like
I forget how he gets the advantage here. But it was a pretty clear. It wasn't like it was like a pretty clear. It was on a sub attempt or on like an out of bounds thing. I do not remember how he got the advantage here, but it was impressive. And he gets the advantage to win. Again, I'm super impressed with what Kanan's doing his first year at black belt.
Yeah,
and I love Wardzinski's game.
Yeah,
and he's finally like turning that corner on the top guys. Like to make it competitive with a dude like Duarte in the gi. Damn, that's impressive.
So at medium heavyweight, we have a closeout between Lucas the Hulk Barbosa and Gustavo Batista, which, again, we wish we could have seen awesome fireworks finals match, but this division is still amazing. There's a lot of really good matches in it.
Both guys are Atos, so that's what they close out.
Yeah, but within the semifinals alone, you have Mateus Diniz versus Barbosa. You have Hudson Mateus versus Gustavo Batista. You have a bunch of amazing fights leading up to this. So even though we were denied an awesome finals match, it's still a great division to go back and watch.
On to the next division.
At middleweight, we have Izaki Bahens defeating Otavio Souza by points 2-0. And that was off of a ankle pick. He can make 2 points go really far, man.
Man, it was a beautiful reversal. He is in the guard. They both get a stalling penalty, and then he.
Yeah,
that was the entire match. That was a 10-minute match. This is when I'm really happy to see UAE JJF rules where it's a 6-minute match. It was a bit of a longer match, but that is the only scoring position that happened in the match.
But next division, lightweight, we had Levi Jones Leary defeating Renato Canuto 6-4.
This match
that was fucking awesome.
Made the fuck up for it.
Yeah,
this was a fire match, dude. Canuto, both these guys, honestly. Levi Jones Leary just coming off that win over Lucas Lepre at Europeans, and then Canuto is coming off of being Canuto and backflip passing over guys and being a Kasai 2 double weight champion, as well as some other stuff he has. So that dude pushes a pace, and dude, he's exciting. He also does this really Canuto. I'm talking about Canuto. Does this really weird like herky jerky stand up thing where he doesn't do the wrestling thing I hate, where he just like touches. He does this like almost like Ali shuffle kind of like back and forth movement before he like pulls or throws or does other stuff.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Dude makes highlights.
Yeah, when it was tied up, he was playing one way. When he was down, he was definitely I saw him leap in without getting any grips and just kick the ankle to try to get like a foot sweep or whatever.
I call that a leg kick.
Yeah, it's a leg kick.
He was going, you saw the same thing I saw. Basically, so Canuto's trying to take Levi Jones Leary down, and he basically does the, you remember what Sexyama did in the UFC? like almost like the reverse step where he had no arms involved in the takedown. It's some judo takedown, I forget the name of it. Canuto didn't do this.
No.
He just leg kicked Levi Jones Leary in an attempt to off balance his legs and like open up something else, and it didn't work. But it was funny. But Canuto gets real aggressive. Honestly, up or down, that dude is aggressive. His guard passing here was really nice. It was like smooth. He uses a bunch of the pan grips. He's trying to do a bunch of like really aggressive throw by passes, trying to get by Levi Jones Leary. This is a match to go back and watch. This
Hell
was
yeah.
definitely one of the more energetic finals matches of the whole event.
And what a fucking breakout year for Levi Jones Leary. Like,
God
you
damn.
know, like taking Euros over Lucas Lepre, and then fucking, you know, winning pans as well. That's
Against
staggering.
Canuto. And like played it at speed. He didn't do the thing that a lot of guys try to do with Canuto and like slow him down, like slow him out. He like played at that speed. Definitely a little more defensive towards the end of the match when he was up, really forcing Canuto to get in and try to pass the guard. And Canuto is much more of a flash passer, as shown by literally all of his highlights.
Yeah.
And, you know, props to Levi Jones Leary. He was able to kind of keep it at bay and stop Canuto from being able to get around with all the flash passes at the end and force him to sort of try to pressure and heavy. Was able to get it. Super impressive. Really great performance for that division. That's a fun one. That's one to go back and rewatch.
Then at featherweight, we have Mateus Gabriel defeating Jamil Hill-Taylor by points. Actually, this was by penalty.
4 points to 4 points. 2 advantages to 2 advantages. And 2 penalties to 3 penalties for Mateus Gabriel. I always forget when you add the penalties, like if you say the penalties are for the other person or for the person that...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's always weird to describe it.
But
so
Shane had more penalties, and the commentators were very unforgiving towards the end of this match, or when the match ended, being like, you know, this is exactly why you don't want to accumulate penalties early on unnecessarily. This was crazy. Shane gets a sweep to get up by 2 points at the end of the match. This is within the last minute, and Mateus goes absolutely ham and begins initiating a takedown. You know, so they're staggering around. Mateus kind of has like his arm across Shane's back, and they are just like ripping each other across the mat. And Mateus has like hardly any time to even this out at all, and it's a savage back and forth, and they go out of bounds, and the ref gives penalties. So at this point,
well, really, what it looked like is Shane was defending a single leg.
It did,
It
really could have gone either way. And
I didn't think this was because basically what he got a penalty for escaping the mat in a takedown. And
it was a little gray area.
It didn't look, to me, this didn't look gray area at all. This looked like he got Brazilianed. Personally, like they were in the northwest corner of the mat, and Mateus Gabriel has the single leg, and he's trying to like basically take Shane down, and Shane doesn't have a whole lot of space before the yellow area of the mat, which is the warning area, the reset area, and he turns, and he's doing all of the exact same things that you would do in any open space, and he turns the correct way to start escaping the single leg to pull out, and he is on the yellow, and he basically goes to pull out and goes in the direction that you would defend this particular style of takedown in open space, and he ends up off the mat, and ends up off the competition area and gets a penalty. And I thought it was like, well, that was kind of bullshit, because to me at least, it was fairly obvious that he wasn't trying to escape the mat. He just happened to be at the edge of the mat and went off. So that's how I feel about this.
The ref pulls them back in, gives Shane another penalty. He has 3 accumulated, so 2 points goes to Mateus, who... Now it's a 4-4 match, and Mateus is up on ads, and Shane, there's like 10 seconds left, and Shane just like, there's no quit in him at all, and he just...
Dude's the current world champion.
He goes for a takedown with 10 seconds left, gets the takedown, but doesn't secure it before time runs out, so he gets an ad for it, but he had that one extra penalty and ends up losing the match. So this is the most insane, like, last minute, like, back and forth.
But the fact that Shane could get the takedown with that shows why he's the world champion.
Yeah,
dude was like, oh, I gotta get 2 points now, or an ad right now. Boom, got it done, and they just like didn't have enough time to run it out. So like, super impressive, dude. I'm so excited to see what he does this year again. Like, if we see another returning black belt American world champion, again, Mateus Gabriel, don't want to take anything away from him, looked outstanding, and to take it to a guy like Shane like this. super impressive. This is honestly a fun match, aside from like a little bit of, it got a little, not stally in areas, but, there's a reason why you rack up 2 and 3 penalties for a match.
Yeah.
But definitely interesting from a points perspective. If you want to figure out how points work, this is a match to look at.
Yeah.
Anything else to add on this one?
Not on this one. I forgot, though, previously in the Levi Jones Leary Renato Canuto match, there was a fucking insane back take that Levi Jones Leary.
Oh my God, I forgot about
that fucking bolo back take that he starts doing, and then he goes to a baby bolo, but he doesn't do like the I'm gonna grab your belt and kind of like pull you back. He stands up. Then he shoves both of his shins behind the knees of Renato Canuto.
Not the knees. He puts his feet there.
Oh, he puts his feet there.
He puts his feet there, and he pushes.
And he just fucking rips him backwards.
And he pushes him back. So, for all the audio listeners here, which is everyone because we don't do video on the show, basically what we're talking about is, so pretend Canuto, we're again lacking the lightweight finals, Levi Jones Leary versus Canuto, whatever his name is. Canuto's standing up straight. Levi Jones Leary is on his back, but he's
behind him.
He's behind him, and he takes both of his feet, puts it behind the knees, and then basically pushes off
like a rowing motion.
Like rowing motion, and basically launches himself and pulls Canuto back in an attempt to get him to fall onto him to secure the hooks. It was fucking crazy to watch live.
And then Renato ends up fleeing the mat and gets a 3rd penalty, so Levi gets 2 points, even though he should have gotten 4. And the crowd is just booing at this point. They were not having it. Like, Levi should have been up even more.
Dude, I was really impressed with that because, like, that was no regard for your opponent's safety at all, and I loved it. I was like, yo, knees, hips, doesn't matter. Just, like, rode him back in that position. I forgot about that. That was one of my favorite moments of this entire tournament, was just watching
really,
Levi Jones
really
just jump and go, boom, trying to take the back. So that was a lot of fun. Move on to light featherweights.
Yeah.
Another invigorating closeout between João Miyao and Thiago George. And we had a third. Dude, the Cicero Costa guys managed to pull a
triple
3-way closeout for the final. Like, props to your gym.
So Thiago in the semifinals is facing Paulo Miyao, and they close out. Thiago progresses, and that would have been nuts if it was a João Paulo closeout. That would have been
João Paulo closeout.
Yeah,
that would have been crazy. So yeah, basically, dude, you closed out. We closed out the top end of an entire division.
Yeah.
Like, that makes me a little disappointed.
Yep.
Also, first time we've seen the brothers in the same division in a while, because Paulo's finally in IBJJF again because he's off suspension.
Right.
So hopefully we see them in different divisions at Worlds. But I don't know. We'll it's interesting. We have seen them in the same division, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. Again, all of them close out. João takes it over Thiago George, over Paulo Miyao. So that's 1, 2, and 3 there for that division.
Then at Roosterweight, we have Kleber Sosa defeating Thiago Gama by referee's decision. We'll move on to the women's finals results.
On to the ladies. Do you want to start with the absolute finals for the women, or do you want to start with the female Roosterweights?
Let's start out with Gabbi weight.
Gabbi Garcia weight.
Gabbi Garcia is back.
Gabbi Garcia, makes her triumphant return to IBJJF and Jiu-Jitsu competition after insert Wikipedia that I've looked at here.
Yeah,
a couple years.
It's
been since she debuted in MMA. I do not believe I've seen her. I know that we haven't covered her on this show, but I'm excited to see her back. Like, everyone for some reason like shits on her sometimes. She's really fucking good.
Yeah,
I enjoy watching her. She does a lot of good stuff. She came in, looked good, double golded, wins female super heavyweight and female absolute.
Yeah.
Looked good, honestly. Yeah. So in the finals for the absolute, it was Gabbi Garcia defeating Natalie DeJesus via an advantage.
Yeah. Props to Natalie DeJesus. Like, that's that's a close match. At female super heavyweight, we have Gabbi Garcia defeating Karina Santi via choke. There was a point where Gabbi does what I'd call a train wreck takedown, and
it actually has a name. I think that throw by, like,
it does have a
It does have a name, but we all call it. It's not a train wreck because the train wreck is the snap down and like turn.
Sumigaeshi, yeah.
You call everything a sumigaeshi.
Drop seoi. It's the seoi nagi, but like off to the side. Is
yes,
what the
and you don't drop
is.
Underneath them. You drop to the side of them, and you pull them into the empty space. That's the train wreck. Gabbi Garcia does like a throw by.
Yeah, so she yanks by and sticks her foot out almost. It doesn't end up initiating a trip or anything like that.
But that's the goal.
That's the goal. But also, Gabbi is so strong that just her yanking, her opponent off in one direction is enough to send them flying.
Dude, I wouldn't want to fight Gabbi in the gi.
No.
I'm about 150 with
No.
a broken back. I wouldn't want to fight that. Like in no gi, at least I can like be a little slippery and get around. But dude, in the gi, she grabs a hold of you, and you saw that. Like,
Yeah.
she is
She's
really good. She looked amazing in her return here, and Karina's no joke.
Right.
And she took her down. Eventually, is able to get to the back, and I had an outstanding angle for this choke, so I have absolutely no idea what she was able to finish her with.
Maine is being very sarcastic right now.
Dude, I hate the handycam shit.
Yeah.
Like, I wish this is a major event, and it looks like it's filmed on a handycam.
Yeah. No, it was a bad
This is
angle.
Gabbi Garcia's return, winning her division for the first time in the gi in a couple years, and I can't tell what choke she had.
Yeah, it could have been an Ezekiel, could have been a zipper.
It's kind of like, it looked almost like it was like a zipper choke from like the side, like a sideways like a Ezekiel from like the not quarter mount. What's the side mount position?
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell because I was staring at like 35 feet away from the table, and I could see like the feet.
Yep.
So again, Gabbi looks like she has great control. I'm excited. I hope we see Gabbi Garcia versus Tiny Porfirio, because they're both in that super heavyweight weight class, and then Tiny's been just crushing absolutes recently. So I hope that we see Gabbi probably at Brasileiros, hopefully at Worlds. Hopefully she's gonna do the run up and actually just do Worlds this year, because it'd be interesting to see her come back. Again, I like seeing MMA people, jiu-jitsu people do MMA and then come back, because I like jiu-jitsu.
So we have next division female heavyweight final, Nathalie DeJesus defeating Talita Nogueira by armbar. We have at female medium heavyweight, Luisa Montero defeating Monique Elias by advantage. At female middleweight, we have Anna Carolina Vieira defeating Laura Halleck 12-0.
Dude, Anna looks fucking good.
She looks unstoppable, man.
Yeah, and she finally looks like she's done with the injury. Like she had a knee injury back about CBD when she won that, and it looks like that's all healed up now. And so, just crushing in the finals, 12-0 in the finals.
Yeah,
impressive to say the least.
Sometimes you look at points, and occasionally, like the disparity is like almost more impressive than a submission.
Yeah.
Like when you can put up 12 points without your opponent doing anything about it.
In a finals match.
Yeah.
And this isn't like a preliminary round. This isn't like versus someone like me or you that just showed up to the tournament like, I'm here to compete. This is a final. This is a black belt finals
with
match.
submissions, sometimes sometimes it's a competitive match and then you do something stupid and you get caught in a submission. But like to rack up points consistently over like a 10-minute period, you have to be able to completely dominate
unanswered points too, which is really impressive. So again, super impressive. Anna is gonna be a tough. Is it Anna or Anna? I've heard it both ways.
Yeah, I've heard it both ways too. I think it's Anna Carolina.
Carolina Vieira.
Yeah.
I see her as a front runner to take Worlds this year.
Yeah,
like she's looked good. I see her as a front runner. It would not surprise me at all to see her take the middleweight division at Worlds this year. So moving on to the female lightweight finals, we have Gabby McComb defeating Nikki Sullivan via choke. Again, another really impressive series that finished this off here. So what happened is Gabby McComb is in the process of passing Nikki's guard, and then Nikki goes to turtle in order to not give up the pass points, just to give up the ad instead, because in IBJJF, if you go to turtle on a pass, you get an advantage instead of getting the 2 points for the pass. And Gabby recognizes it and immediately sort of jumps onto the back, chucks the hooks in, and starts working the choke.
Yeah, just a brutal rear naked choke with
it was like
the face.
On the face.
Yeah.
It was a rear naked face.
Yep.
In a big way, and turned it. Eventually, was able to pull, get it. Really impressive. Again, really impressive to see Nikki Sullivan. We've seen her in no-gi at the trials, take second at the West Coast trials just real recently. Have her take second at another Pan American in the gi. Like really, really exciting. She's training with Atos. Looked good up until the finals match there, but Gabby's someone to watch after this though. It's impressive.
Yeah. At female featherweight, we have Ffion Davies defeating Karen Antuna is 4-2.
Dude, Ffion has been on a tear recently. Like, we saw her, I think, last weekend.
Yeah.
Defeat Gazeri Matuda at Polaris via submission, which I was really impressed about. I thought that Matuda was going to take that. I was fucking wrong.
Yeah, and I mean, it looked like she was at one point because, like, back at Polaris,
Yeah,
Ffion was, in a guillotine?
I think it was an arm in guillotine or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, looked deep.
Yeah.
And, dude, Ffion looks so good. She took Europeans this year. She's just won the Pans. She says she's doing Brasileiros, World Pro, and the Worlds. So it's like she's a front runner to take. She is a front runner to take some of those divisions. I would not surprise me to have her on the podium this year at Worlds.
Yeah, she's definitely been making a name for herself and taking big wins recently. So we'll see if she can keep the momentum up.
Karen's no joke. Been beats her by points 4-2. Good match, exciting match.
So we saw a lot of back and forth here, but Ffion Davies is able to get her final 2 points off of a great reverse De La Riva sweep, and then establish her base and ride the match out there to get the win. So congrats to her. Female lightweight featherweight final, Amanda Monteiro
Lightweight featherweight final. Light featherweight final?
Light featherweight final, Amanda Monteiro defeating Talita Alankar by advantage.
You cannot let me give you shit about saying things wrong, Emil. Like, when you just took that, I was like, oh, I feel bad now. Like, you'd be like, no, like, you get stuff wrong too.
I wanted to get the information out, Maine.
I appreciate that.
People need to know.
Again, Talita Alankar in another finals match. Amanda Monteiro looking good. I think these women have gone against each other a bunch of times, and I think they go back and forth. So again, another contested match.
Female roosterweight final, Maisa Bastos defeating Serena Gabriela via choke.
I was really impressed at the angle she was able to get this choke on. Like,
more sarcasm from Maine. This is an obfuscated angle. We can't see exactly how this choke goes down.
No. Like, honestly, really here. Yeah, it's really hard to see. I can't exactly tell what choke Maisa finishes with, but she's really, really high up on the back because Serena looks like she's trying to basically shuck her off the top of this position, but Maisa's able to get some sort of collar choke in and keep position on the back enough where she's able to lock it in. She almost falls off the back at one point. Like, again, I was really, really impressed, even though I couldn't see shit here. I was really, really impressed with the ability of Maisa to stay on top, even on, like, the top of the shoulders, because she didn't have that, like, low chest-to-chest back control. She was almost, like, hips on shoulders for a lot of this. Was able to keep position, not get shucked off. Like, really, really impressive. And you do not see someone able to hold this position for this long. She was on there for a while. For this long very frequently. So that was really, really impressive. I wish I could have another angle so I could actually see what the fucking choke was, but really impressive
I wonder how they would get around that though, like to have that many matches with that good camera angle. Like,
this isn't an open. This isn't like a minor. This is one of 4 major matches for the year.
Right.
Four major events for the year.
Like, how many concurrent mats does UAE JJF run with that good camera angle?
One.
They run one.
They
mat.
run one mat.
Yeah. Okay.
But this is Pans. I want to get that across to you.
Yeah.
This is a major event for the IBJJF. One of 4 majors that they run a year.
Yeah.
Being a Pans champion is a big, big fucking deal.
Yeah. I feel like on Sunday you hire the camera crew for.
Do what you do at Worlds.
Yeah.
You have the one mat, and it takes all day, much like this took all day.
Yeah.
And you do the big mat,
Yep.
and then you run the camera crew, you run the commentary, you run the picture-in-picture. Like, you run it like a professional event so I can fucking see what's going on. Because, like, we have a couple matches that were Pans champions. We had the return of Gabbi Garcia, couldn't see the choke. We had Maisa Bastos, couldn't see the choke. We had a couple of the men's matches where, like, I can't really see where he's going. Like, Muhammad Ali, the replayed match was like, I can't see what's wrong with his face.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at a handicap. But it's super frustrating.
Yeah.
Because these are major events. Like, the IBJJF bills itself as the world's premier gi organization and, like, the pinnacle of the sport. But it's 2019, and I can't see, like, how major world-class athletes finished at a major event that is a Grand Slam event.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating.
That's true.
And it's like, I watched the NCAA wrestling finals this week, and great production. Even they ran multiple matches. They do picture-in-picture. They run one match one side, one match the other side. They use the whole names of the competitors. Ffion Davies' final match here, she had F, and then it had her F dot period, and it had her middle name.
F dot period.
F dot period. F period, and then her middle name, which I've never seen her used. In the results, it's listed as Ffion Davies. So it's like I'm watching a match between Karen Antunes and and then some other middle name I don't use. Like, just write the whole name there so I know the matches I'm watching. Like, also write what, am I watching the quarterfinals? Am I watching the finals? What weight class is it? If you're just watching this, and unless you're listening to the commentary and like can follow it and have the brackets up on a separate page, which is what we do when we watch this, I can't watch it.
Yeah,
like,
no.
And like, just do what every other sport that has a tournament bracket style does. Put the full name up, put where they're from, put their camp, then you put the quarterfinals or the finals, you put the time, and you put the points up.
Yep.
Like, it's not hard. Just give me the information so I can watch it.
Yeah.
I get super amped and super frustrated about this because we try to cover it and put on a good show, and it's just made fucking hard for us. And it's not like it's a new format. Like, I watch other promotions and other events do it, and the IBJJF is the world's biggest one trying to like be the thing for jiu-jitsu, and it just looks like shit.
Yeah. There's no excuse for it, and for the finals, I feel like if you want people to get excited, if you want to grow the sport, there was amazing finals matches, and I would have.
And I couldn't see the finish on some of them.
Yeah.
I'm not to just belabor this point here, but it just always makes me really frustrated that like the quality of athlete cannot get showcased because I can't see the footage.
Yeah.
And like there's so many amazing moments that it just like I have this like weird like mat side view from like a live stream camera like it's 2012, and it's just depressing.
Well, it was an interesting overall event, and for sure there's a lot of people I'm going to be keeping an eye on leading up to Worlds. Especially, we got the breakouts.
Oh, it got me amped for Worlds.
Yeah.
I'm excited as shit to see how some of these guys match up again because, again, every major event we see, like, your top 4 guys are usually your top quarterfinals or your top 2 guys are in that bracket. So we see guys every single time in the mix. Like, you don't think you're going to have Levi Jones Leary in a quarterfinals match. You don't think you're going to have Izaki Behance or Kenan Duarte or Lucas Barbosa or Leandro Lo or Muhammad Ali. Like, all of those guys are the guys that you see in the top of the bracket. So you get a preview of what you're going to see, how they're looking, where they're struggling, like what's Lo going to look like in a couple months.
I don't know, man. I feel like he has taken some major losses at major events a lot in the past year or so.
He's always kind of done that a little bit. Like, he always is just a world beater, but he does go back and forth on it. So I'm excited. I don't want to shit on Pans too much. It is definitely worth your time to go back and rewatch some of these matches. Highly recommend it. Flo has links to all of the matches up on their results page. Go back and watch them. If you parse through some stuff, most of the videos are up for the entire event. If you go to the video section, you can search by the athlete names. Before we were recording here, I was watching a bunch of like quarterfinals matches and round of 8 matches. I was watching like Tex Johnson just absolutely sprint at all his opponents at the beginning. Like, that's how he opens the match. So there's a lot of really amazing matchups to go watch. I haven't got a chance to watch them, so I'm going to spend this rest of this week going back and watching like a bunch of other really cool matchups for Pans for guys I like to see. Like, we didn't get to cover like guys like Devontae Johnson and like a bunch of other guys that
Mateus Diniz.
That I'm huge fans of. We just didn't get a chance to cover them because this show would be 6 hours long.
Yeah.
So anything else to add on this event, Emil?
Well, that's it.
All right, let's move on to the preview section. So, onto our preview of Fight to Win 106 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This event is main evented by Roberto Cyborg Abreu versus Luis Panza. Dude, all of these Florida cards are always crazy. I think one of the Florida cards, they had like 21 black belts on it.
Yeah, I remember. It was that was the one with fucking Wagner Hosho, right? The Miami one?
Yeah. We in Miami, bitch.
Yeah, that's right.
Dude, the Florida cards are always absolutely crazy. There's always a bunch of fight sport guys, and it's I love the Florida events because they're also in our time zone.
Yeah, that's
as well.
Nice.
Because it's stacked with dope black belts in our time zone, and always guys that are coming to bring the action. So like, it's gonna be good. So the co-main event is a female black belt flyweight gi title, Talita Alencar versus Karen Antunes, both ladies that we saw this weekend at Pans in the finals of their divisions. We have a 145-pound black belt gi match, Tubby Aliquin versus Luana Alzugir. We have a Masters no-gi light heavyweight tighter, Vitor Schlosser versus Kevin Gallagher of the Old Man Grappling Hour podcast. If you want to hear cool interviews, they do it on that show. He's also one of the dope referees for Fight to Win, Kevin Gallagher. We have a Masters gi welterweight title.
Alexandre Pulga Pimentel versus Rafael Formiga Barbosa.
We have a Masters Nogi welterweight title.
Enrico Coco versus Travis Maglit.
Maglit. We have a Teen Nogi bantamweight title. Jasmine Rocha versus Kristen Barles. Banales. That's Wagner Rocha's daughter.
Hell yeah.
She looked really good last time Fight to Win. I forget how she won her match, but
she has like a couple kids that compete, right?
She has a couple. No, that's his daughter.
I know, no. I'm saying.
Yeah, he has him and his son. He has his son is what the fuck's his son's name?
Whatever.
It's another jiu-jitsu name.
Okay.
I forget.
Achilles
Rocha. He's on the bottom of the card. This orange belt match. So that's exciting to see her fight for a bantamweight title.
We got a 250-pound black belt gi match. Sam McCoy versus Alan Salgado. 200-pound black belt gi match. Joseph Rivera versus Felipe Amarante. 190-pound black belt no gi match. Efrain Ruiz versus Ken Berman. 185-pound black belt judo match.
Fuck yeah, judo.
Randy Guimaranes versus Bobby Lee. 180-pound black belt gi match. Adam Epulveda versus Andre Freire.
We have a 180-pound black belt no gi bout. I'm pointing to you, Emil. You're supposed to read the name. Jack Dowley versus Ryan Renser.
Okay, you said no-gi match. This is a 180-pound black belt judo match.
What'd I
Jack
say?
Dowley versus Ryan Renser.
Oh, your blind
no-gi
stare
match.
makes much more sense now. As
Yes.
I said the wrong fucking
I was like,
thing.
what the fuck is he talking about? So that's another judo match. 170-pound black belt no-gi match, which is the one that you just asked me to do. Gasias Cavalcante versus
Jay-Z
Dustin...
Cavalcante.
Jay-Z Cavalcante
versus
Dustin Akbari. That's a phenomenal
This is going to
match.
be a barn burner match. I'm actually surprised. I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, why is it down this low?
What they're doing is it's by weight. So they do
okay.
the main events and then they do
yep.
it by heavyweight guys
Got
on
it,
the
got
lower
it.
weight. So I'm guessing that this is probably going to be at the top of the card
Yep,
because it is a great matchup.
165-pound black belt gi match. Lucas Santos versus Kyle Uragal.
165-pound black belt no-gi match.
Jay Ferreira versus Jim Allers.
160-pound black belt gi match.
Daniel Fundura versus Forrest Mayano.
155-pound black belt gi match.
Mauricio Gomez versus Rodrigo Diaz.
155-pound black belt gi match.
Jeff Niles versus Rennie Gonzalez.
147-pound black belt gi match.
Orlando Castillo versus Frank Dukes Lavorsi at that weird ass fucking weight.
I love the weight class. Like 147. I want them to be like 148.5 pounds.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna meet in the middle. 145-pound black belt gi bout.
Eduardo Gonvacales versus Maiko Araju.
145-pound black belt judo match.
Oscar Rosa versus Nathan Kearney.
140-pound black belt gi bout.
Adam Ferreira versus Martin Davila.
145-pound no-gi bout.
It's 245-pound no-gi.
What'd I say?
100.
I'm only 100
Drop by
pounds. On 100 pounds off. Man.
Steven Heaven versus Steven Maury.
And then we got a bunch of brown belts on the card. We have some purple belt matches. Who else do we have? Yeah, dude, this is gonna be a fun card in our time zone. I'm excited. It's gonna be great. We also got Wagner Hoster's son, 155-pound orange belt gi match, Achilles Rocha versus Damian Sota. We got some yellow belts on the card. Tune in for this match. Tune in for this card. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Fight to Win always brings it in Orlando. Or not Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, and all the Florida cards, honestly. I'm excited. We get to see Fight to Win soon.
Hell yeah.
I'm excited.
They're coming to Maryland, to Baltimore in
April 20th.
That's right.
A bunch of guys we know are getting their matchups, and they're texting us, and they're texting like, "Oh, what do you do here?" It's like, hey, you got to sell tickets, and you got to show up ready to smash some guy.
That's right.
And they're like, okay. And it's really funny to have guys like, because I know we cover it every single week, reach out to us and be like, "Oh, what do I do?" It's like you just do jiu-jitsu, but good.
But slam them on their fucking heads.
You slam them. What are the rules? Like, read the rules. Do not ask me what the rules are. Like, no-gi rules. So I'm excited, dude. I absolutely love. I'm so excited. I'm going to go to the Philly card. I'm going to probably try to get one of our guys up to the Boston card. Definitely going to the Baltimore card. It's Fight to Win season.
Yep.
I'm amped. I'm excited. So that does it for that. Anything else on that preview?
That's it.
All right. So on to our preview of King of the Mat Grappling Championship 5. I'm excited about this event. There's some guys in this event that we like to see that are returning for King of the Mat. It's exciting. So where do you want to start? So the King of the Mat Grappling Championships, they're streaming it live on their YouTube and on their Facebook page. Yeah, they have their bracket out on Instagram. You can take a look at it. Let's start at the bottom of the left-hand side of the bracket. We have returning champion Dante Leon versus Chris Dempsey.
Hell yeah. Dante Leon is always a fucking entertaining fighter. He's like been on
Kasai, been on King of the Mat. He's been on, I think, a bunch of other stuff that I cannot think of.
He
for
was
some
just
reason.
in Pans, although he got knocked out by Izaki Bahens.
Quarters, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, early on, to the person who ended up winning that division. So NBD, but his matches are fucking super entertaining. Definitely tune in for that.
He pushes a pace, and
Yeah.
on all these formats, all these grappling formats, all these like tournament formats, he pushes a pace, and it's awesome to see, and he's really exciting. So he is definitely a front runner for this one. Next matchup we have
Daniel Borovic versus Tony Real. We have Jamie Espinoza versus Garrett Lavaji. We have Michael Arrieta versus Ad Warren.
on the other side of the bracket. On the right side of the bracket,
We have Ryan Quinn versus Marcus West. Paul Okeo versus Khalil.
Falhada, Fadhala,
Fadlala, I think.
maybe.
Brad-
I apologize, by the way. That was an utter butchering of the name. I apologize to
We
you.
have Brad Schneider versus Rocky Edwards. We have Quentin Rosenberg versus Michael Carpenter.
Quentin Rosenwig, by the way.
Sorry.
Not even close. He's another guy. I have an inclination that we are going to potentially see Quentin and Dante in the finals here.
Hell yeah.
It would not surprise me at all. Both dudes are monster grapplers. A lot of fun. Streaming for free. No reason not to watch it. Always a lot of fun. Pacing's good. Commentary was a lot of fun last time. They did interviews at the end of the match last time with the winners. At the end of the event last time with the winners. Really cool. Highly recommend it. Big fan of the promotion. So on to our preview of Tap Cancer Out, the Black Belt Showcase. I errantly called this Tap Out Cancer earlier, but it's not. It's the naming is different. On the top of the card, we have Mark Vives versus JP
Cruvinel.
175-pound gi bout. Next match, we have Frank Rosenthal versus Bruno Diaz. Then
We have Hillary Witt versus Sarah Block. Nick Newell versus Chris Simmons.
oh shit, that's is that the same Nick Newell, the UFC Contender Series Nick Newell,
Not
the
sure.
gentleman with one hand, Nick Newell, the one-arm
Possible?
fighter?
Maybe.
That'd be super exciting because he is a banger. He's fun to watch. He has a super dope guillotine where he like, punches you in the throat with the limb. I try to get around saying that. He's an exciting guy to watch though. Next match we have
Alex Eklund versus Ryan Clay. We have Nelson Puntes versus Scott Bowler. Mike Kalika versus Dan Simler. Kurt Chase Patrick versus Mike Davila.
that'll be fun.
Hell yeah.
That's gonna be a good matchup.
Rick Hahn versus Patrick McElderry.
That's a good matchup.
Renan Borges versus Jared Lawton.
Oh shit, Jared Lawton is a guy from up in Maine that used to have. I think he still fights out of Maine. He was an MMA fighter, black belt, long-time black belt in Maine. One of the first couple black belts in Maine, actually. He actually moved up, so I actually know him. I've seen him compete a bunch live, so that's exciting.
We have Vin Canabaro versus Diogo Moreno. Tiago Alves versus Junior Ortega. Jimmy Santiago versus Eduardo Barbosa. Todd Mugenheim versus Tom Clare. Bruno Braz versus Peter Vo. Brad Wolfson versus Pete Jeffrey. Mike Quillis versus Mike Sabo. Travis Passard versus Terrence Boorman.
And so this stream is live on their YouTube page. David Glabuto is going to be on commentary, so you know it's going to be good. Again, support's a great cause. Highly recommend it if you're in the area. Buy tickets, support them. I think they're still accepting donations. I think even until the day of the event, so highly recommend. It's a great cause. They're putting on a great event. If you can donate to it, definitely donate to it. There's some links everywhere on their Instagram page and other places. Great cause, great people, great matches. Can't say enough good things about them. So on to our preview of the ADCC South American Trials, the Brazilian Trials. They're only running one Brazilian Trials this year. That's been a little interesting, so this one should be huge. Unfortunately, I can't find a competitor list. I can't find a streaming location. I can't find any other information about this event other than the fact that it is happening on the, I think the 30th or 31st of this month.
Yeah, there's a lot of information. Actually, it looks like the 26th.
No, that's a registration date.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have information on registration and all that.
Oh, yeah,
but-
sorry about that. It is available on Fightera TV. I forgot about that. I found that out earlier.
Aha, here we go. Okay.
So the same place that Podia streams their pay-per-views should have the ADCC
That's
trials.
Fighteria TV.
F-
FIGTERIA.TV. So yeah, we should be able to watch that. Yeah, that was it BJJ Stars was on that?
Copa Podia.
Oh, Copa Podia.
Yep,
Okay,
Copa Podia
my bad.
runs through there. So pretty good service. Look out for it. We're gonna try to cover it in the best capacity that we can. I have no idea what capacity we'll be able to cover the event in, just because it is mostly in Portuguese, and I'm unfamiliar with using Fightera TV with bigger events like this. So we'll see. We'll definitely cover the results if we can next week, but if anyone has any more information about where we can find a competitor list, I would really appreciate that. Reach out to us on the Grappling Rewind in the DMs, or like send us a message or put a message on like the show's weekly post that we do. Like, hey, I have information about the event. Just let us know. I'm really interested in covering it, but it's proven to be kind of difficult so far. On March 29th, the Third Coast Grappling is running a qualifier. Dude, I love qualifiers for their upcoming Third Coast Grappling 2. Love qualifiers because it eliminates a bunch of like I couldn't get a matchup, I couldn't get in the tournament. No, it's like the qualifiers let you register, get selected, get in, and win your spot onto a big event like this. Kasai does these. Third Coast is doing them now. A bunch of other promotions.
ADCC.
ADCC is basically the same thing. Like, I love it. In the 180 and below purple belt no-gi bracket, we have, give me the names here, Emil.
Austin Orande versus Gabriel Macario, David Alget versus Chris Walden, William Tackett versus Ruben Bueno, Corey McNutt versus Bradley Clifton.
And on the 180-pound and up blue belt no-gi bracket, we have
Charlie Phelps versus Chris Manchaca, Nathan Garlike versus Matthew Guerrero, Cristo Giartis versus Douglas Hernandez, Nate Polino versus Blake Carter.
We also got a number of other matchups on the card. We got Andrew Tackett on the card versus Victor Saraba. That's a 135-pound blue belt gi match. Both Tackett brothers are really fun to watch. They're both on the card. Number of other matchups. Should be a lot of fun. Highly recommend watching it. So that does it for another week on the show. I am very tired because of Pans, and this show has to come out in 2.5 hours or 3.5 hours. It's like 8:30ish right now, p.m. And I gotta finish editing the show, writing the descriptions, doing everything else, updating the calendars.
You got this.
I totally got this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go home and quietly read a book. So
I hate you so
have
much.
Have fun with that.
God, I hate you. I'm going to go to the gym right now, honestly. I'm going to go and hopefully work out my back a little bit.
Sweet.
And try to make my back be less broken.
Hell
I can almost touch my feet. Super excited about that.
Fuck
with
yeah,
the
dude.
inversion table, I have a membership to a gym that has a sauna that's open late now, so I can go sit in the sauna and do my like PT exercises.
Nice.
I've been doing like a special elliptical that like helps me move, like it moves in a different range of motion because it has like floating feet on it.
We have the technology. We can rebuild him.
Man, we better rebuild me. I've been able to train in like months now. I'm pissed. I'm in pain constantly. This sucks.
I feel bad for the white belts. You are gonna roll with you when you do get back, man. That's gonna be
Gonna
fucking
crush
ugly.
white belts to a point. Well, you feel bad for me or for the white belts?
For the white belts.
I'll be nice.
No, you're
Ish.
not.
I'm
No,
a-
you're not.
I mean, I'm a pretty nice guy.
You're gonna wrist lock them and then tell them it's.
I
their own fault.
don't wrist lock the white belts. That's the one thing I don't do. For some reason, I have this weird hang up about wrist locking white belts. Like, oh, he'll like a white belt. Like, I don't give a shit. But like wrist lock, I just feel it's like it's just dirty. And like I love it in competition, but
I don't understand your moral compass, but hey, props to you.
all right. So you got anything else, Emil?
That's it.
All right. As always, I'm Maine with the Grappling Rewind,
I'm Emil with the Grappling Rewind.
and we will see you on the mats. If you like the show, please consider sharing it on Facebook with the folks at your gym. It's the best way that we grow the show, and we really appreciate it. You can reach out to us on email.
We also have Instagram. We have Facebook. We have Twitter. We have Google Plus.
Until that shuts down.
We have a website.
If you have an event you would like to have us cover, please let us know. If you have a name, like most people do, and you'd like to have us stop butchering it,
Let us know.
reach out to us. The show is also available on YouTube, Spotify, in addition to iTunes and every other podcast service. We very much appreciate your time, and thank you.